Today we're going to go over a 3-part series for everything I do on the mornings I do cardio, and that's whether it's pre-contest or off-season. But first, let's start with some ingredient essential aminos. 10 grams, 1 scoop. This is the fruit punch flavor. Absolutely tastes amazing. If you're really into bananas, you will love it. So 1 scoop, 15 ounces of water, which I like a lot. Mix it up. Time to get to work. So, on to the treadmill. 3 speed today, 3 incline, nothing crazy. It's low intensity. I'm gonna bang 20 minutes. So for me on this treadmill, I just gotta set a goal, time, enter, 20 minutes. And that's the speed for 3, incline for 3, hit start. And the belt will begin. So from here, I'm just moving it up a good clip. My heart rate's gonna be somewhere 110 to 120. And I bounce back and forth in the all season with treadmill, the Peloton bike. If I'm gonna do low intensity, if I'm gonna do my HIIT intervals, then I'm definitely on the Peloton. I would never get on here and sprint. Just not good for my knees and hips. But 20 minutes. A lot of times I'll put a YouTube motivation video on, I'll listen to a podcast. But for the most part, I'm knocking this out. In the all season, after my first meal, after I've caught up on all my client morning updates, or at least a good stopping point, in the pre-contest, that's the big difference. Then I will for sure wake up, do this first thing in the morning. So that's gonna be the chief principal difference between off-season and pre-contest. I like to have one meal in me, and then in the off-season, I also drink branched chains or essential aminos, and a mixture of those. Grand EAAs have that. And then pre-contest, I will just simply drink water. So another big difference there, pre-contest, all-season. I do not believe in essential aminos, branched chains during pre-contest. My sole purpose is fat loss. Let's knock it out. One last piece, as I have 30 seconds left here. If you notice, I'm not holding on. I'm not grabbing, holding, thumbs. That doesn't matter if I'm on a Stairmaster or a treadmill. No hands. It makes it significantly harder. Once you start building your incline or your level up on the Stairmaster, you're removing body weight when you're holding on or draped on it. Let go, it'll make it much harder and you'll burn a ton more calories. Trust me when I say that, way more efficient. Don't hold on, don't grasp, don't put a band on your back. And done. And now we go outside, get my drinks, and outside for some stretching, mobility work. Cardio done, now we're outside for some mobility and flexibility work. So step 1 for me, when I do that, I'm gonna take the sweatshirt off, I'm gonna slip my shoes off, and we're gonna get into that. So what I've found is if I make an effort to every single time I do my cardio to do this stretching mobility work, it really helps my lower back, my hips, and my knees as far as tightness and having zero pain. So if you look at this, it's gonna add about 5 to 10 minutes to your day, but the benefits for your body are gonna be endless. All right, step 1. We're gonna work on our breathing and TVA hold. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit back, blow all the air out, so pushing my stomach towards the ceiling, and then I'm gonna suck it as hard as I can. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 rep. I need to do 3 of those. Again, stomach out, and in. 1, 2, 3. Last one, out, and then up. 1, 2, 3. With that, you'll notice I need a neutral spine. I want to remove an arch, so I don't want to be here. I need to be super flat spine. Next, we will have an arch. So I'm going to straighten my legs out, take my arms over my head. Same thing. I want to push my hands up, my feet down, and suck in. So 1, 2, 3. We'll do 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Now, you will feel that into your hip flexors, through your abs, through your TVA. Notice any tightnesses you may have in those areas, and we can focus on that once we get to the foam rolling and the so right. Exercise number 3, it's going to be a leg extension. So I want to take my hand, put it right on my VMO, and push away from my head, and I'm going to do a leg extension. So 1, 2, 3 of those. That's going to activate that rec fem, that top muscle of your quad. Then we're going to do a leg raise, same thing, legs up, press into that hand, which is in stone. 2, one more, 3, just like that. Again, that's activating that rec film. We'll do that on the opposite side as well. So here, press into that hand, extension up, 1, 2, 3. Now leg raise, 1, 2, last one, 3. That's exercise 3 and 4. 5 and 6, glute bridge. We're gonna activate those glutes. So push the hips up, squeeze, 1, 2. We'll do 5 of these. 1, 2. 2 more. Trying to get both glutes fully activated, driving through those heels. Last one. Perfect. Now, we're gonna transition to the 6th exercise, which is a single leg glute bridge. So, heel on the ground in stone, other leg out, that is non-working. I'm gonna press up, 1, 2, squeeze that right glute as hard as we can. 1, 2. Just like that. You'll also feel this in your adductor for stabilization. Switch sides. So the non-working leg goes straight to take it out of the movement. Push through that left heel. 1, 2. Do 5 of those. Last one. Good. All right, last up here is a torso rotation for the mobility work. This is for me to work on my quarter turns and my spine mobility. So I want to think about quarter turn, chest up, abs in, and then all I'm gonna do is just turn to one side, hold, 1, 2. 1, 2, and we'll do 3 each side. Locking my hips in stone. Just trying to get that spinal mobility. Last one. All right, on to stretching. Now, if you're lucky like me and have this turf, great. If not, you can do it right in the grass, completely up to you, or you can do it on the carpet inside your house. I like to be outside and get some sunlight, so this is where I do all my stretching and mobility work. Exercise 1 is gonna be a hip flexor stretch. So if you look here, perfect posture of ankles stacked below the knee, and then all I'm gonna do is push that knee out over my toe. Now here, look at the posture, chest tall, abs are tightened in, and then when I'm into that full stretch and lengthened position of my hip flexor, I'm gonna fire that right glute as hard as I can, and we'll hold that pose for roughly 10 seconds. If you start getting good at these, you can take it as high as 2 minutes. And we'll switch. So left leg down, again, stacking ankle below knee, push forward, chest up, abs in, squeeze that left glute in 10 seconds. Tip. All right, now next, the 90-90 stretch. So if you look there, 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle with my back leg, and I'm gonna start by driving my chest over this knee. If you can get down further than me, great. My hips are very tight. And now we're gonna rotate to my right. So like if you're looking at a clock, roughly 2 o'clock, driving that chest down. And then roughly 11 o'clock, this is where I'm really tight. I'll actually take my non-working hand and pull my body down in that position through my foot. And then lastly on this leg is right into a pigeon pose. Just scoot around, trying to get my elbows to the turf. And you will feel this all in this glute as well as the hip. Okay, other side. Great glute med and glute max stretch. Okay, next exercise, sumo squat. Catcher stance, whatever you want to call this. I'm just sinking into a deep depth squat position. My heels are flat on the ground. I'm gonna take my elbows and push out on my VMO and just sink my hips deep. Trying to again take my knees over my toes to work the ankle mobility in addition to my adductors and my quads, glutes, and hips. All right, next up, hamstrings. We're gonna go down, slight bend in my knee, like almost like the starting of a stiff leg deadlift, and I'm gonna touch my toes. Do not force this, but breathe into it. So you'll watch when I take a deep breath, I'll get another couple inches with each deep breath that I take. Okay, now legs spread, down to the middle, same thing. Get a good deep stretch, do not force it, do not bounce, and then take deep breaths, and that'll allow those hamstrings to relax and you to get deeper into the stretch. Okay, we'll go left leg, then right leg. Next up, quads. Now you can do this a bunch of different ways. If you had a bench, you could put your back heel up on it, stretch down. Today, since we're outside, I'm just gonna go kneeling, and then I'm gonna force my upper body back, stretching and lengthening those quads. Final thing for stretching here is gonna be our lower limbs. So start with calves, both legs back, 10 seconds. If you notice my heels are flat on the ground, they're not riding up. Right leg, push into that and really stretch the calf. Switch sides. Okay, and last thing here we're gonna focus on here is this is gonna be for ankle mobility. So what I think about in that kneeling position, and I'm gonna drive my knee over my toe, keep my heel flat on the ground, and we'll hold. You should feel that tightness through your soleus, also your Achilles tendon if they're really tight, but this will help you get deep on squats, hack squats, and even on leg press. And then somebody to switch legs. Again, trying to drive that knee over that toe. It's gonna stretch the back side of that lower leg out. All right, EA's done. Stretching mobility, done. Cardio, done. Quick wrap up here. If you look, bang the cardio. Immediately come out, I'm gonna work TVA, I'm gonna work rec film, glute activation. Everything that's gonna help loosen my lower back up, as well as my abs. Next, on to stretching and mobility. That was all for lower body today, because that's what I like to focus on, because that's what I really help and need for my lower back. We'll do a separate video later on for upper body flexibility, but that's where I really focus on my lower body as well as my abs. That concludes part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, which is gonna be an ab work.